We've got a real bug-out on our hands.
On this episode of Kratts Creatures,
We're doomed.
They crawl, they fly, they wriggle, they squiggle, but most of all,
They're on the loose and they're multiplying.
come on, we've got to find the Emperor Scorpion.
There's only one way to solve the mystery of the giant bug invasion.
and that's by taking a close look at these creeping, crawling creatures.
A really close look.
Let's get out of this splash rack. And up close and personal with giant, squirming, wriggling bugs.
You okay?
We'll be getting closer to bugs than ever before. Coming up on this episode of Kratts Creatures. They're out there, and they're multiplying, and they're munching madly with their maxillae and mandibles. They've got the world gripped in their thorny claws, and now they will strike. Panic! Hysteria! Mayhem! It's the giant bug invasion! A cataclysmic civic catastrophe! Call the army! Call the marines! Call the air cadets! Call anybody!
Professor, there are bugs everywhere. There certainly are, Professor, from all over the world. In fact, they're taking over the planet. Coffee? Thanks, Professor.
But how? How did all this happen?
How did it happen?
You don't know.
I thought you knew.
No, I'm afraid this one has me stymied.
Come off it, guys. This whole giant bug invasion stuff is for the movies. I'll explain the whole thing. See, Chris and Martin have been asked by the International Insect Commission to return several exotic bugs to their original locations around the world, right? So the three of us went out. And when we came back... Hey, we left the door open.
Not only that,
The dog must have been playing in here while we were gone. Uh-oh. Looks like the bugs we were taking care of got loose.
that's not good.
We've got a problem.
A really big problem. Bugs are cool and they're crucial to the whole ecosystem.
But controlling them?
Good luck. Okay, what exactly is a bug?
Well, bug is a technical term that applies to certain insects. But for our purposes, we're calling every insect a bug.
We've got to find these bugs. The reason we can't have exotic bugs getting out is because if they reproduce and give birth to more bugs, no one knows what effect this will have on our local ecosystem.
If these bugs can reproduce as fast as a fly, we're in trouble. If unchecked by predators, 2 single flies and their offspring could create 190 billion flies in 4 months. And if you want to know how effective bugs are at altering the environment, just ask any cabbage farmer.
You try to run an honest cabbage farm, and what happens? Some darn fool brings the cabbage butterfly in from Europe, and before you know it, it eats everything. This is the only cabbage I got out of my entire cornfield.
Butterflies start out as caterpillars, and that's when the cabbage butterfly chews up farmers' crops. The problem is that in North America, we don't have the natural checks and balances to keep their numbers down. It's another example of what happens when you mess with nature.
And look at this. Now I got potato beetles.
Okay, guys, here's what we're looking for. A Sonoran centipede, an emperor scorpion, a solifugid, a Madagascar cockroach, a millipede, a stick insect, a vinegaroon, a.k.a. whip scorpion, and a tarantula.
Finding these guys isn't going to be easy. We've got a real bug-out on our hands.
I don't think so, Al. I think it's the millipede.
How can you tell?
That's easy. I've got the centipede, so you guys must have the millipede.
Careful, Martin. Those guys are poisonous.
I know, get the jar. The name millipede means 1,000 legs, but in fact, they only have up to 400. This guy's a vegetarian, and he's not dangerous. But the centipede is. He's poisonous.
Centipede needs 100 legs, but the most they have are 40. They're predators who eat worms and snails. There's another difference. Centipedes are faster and way more agile.
It's not easy being a millipede. Meet the meerkat, the mega-quick master of munching millipedes. Meerkats are from Africa, and they're insect-hunting mongoose-like creatures. And one of their favorite meals is, you're looking at it, millipede meat. These guys will stop at nothing in their search for multi-legged squigglers.
Meerkats are always on the lookout for a millipede meal.
They'll do whatever they have to do to chase down a millipede. Even if the millipede tries to defend itself by curling into a ball, it doesn't stand a chance. The meerkat can crack the millipede's armor, no problem. And I mean crack. After all that millipede munching, it's time to mellow out.
What's up?
We're not gonna find the rest of the bugs in here.
What makes you so sure?
Look, an open window.
We're doomed.
Doomed is right. Success! I found one of our bugs, a tarantula. Well, sort of. How about a tarantula skeleton?
Say what?
Because while this looks like a shell, that's actually what it is, a skeleton. See, compared to bugs, we're inside out. They have their skeletons on the outside of their bodies. When it's time to grow, they shed their skeletons and grow again. The skeleton gets hard as they grow. After a while, they shed it and grow again.
Get a load of this. It's a cecropia, a type of silk moth. Check out the colors. They're amazing. And its wingspan must be at least 5 inches long. The spots on its wings look like eyes. So, the moth looks like the head of a much bigger animal. It's a great way to scare off predators.
The cecropia is the largest moth in all of North America.
But that size doesn't offer any protection from predators like birds who'd love to gobble him up.
And that's where his icebox come in. It's a great defense against predators.
Hey guys, check out these monarch caterpillars. They're not on our list, but they're cool.
Hey Chris, remember where we found a great place to check out caterpillars?
Absolutely. If you're looking for the treasure trove of caterpillars, you gotta go to South America. There are so many caterpillars in South America that scientists are still trying to learn about. But one thing we do know is that the bright color of a caterpillar
Often acts as a warning to predators.
That's right. Those colors are like advertising. Really negative advertising. It's the caterpillar's way of saying, I have poisonous spikes, I have poisonous hairs, I'm a parcel of poison, and if you bite me, you're gonna die.
And in North America, we have our own version of a poisonous caterpillar.
The monarch caterpillar.
You know, some people think caterpillars look like wiggly maggots, but this is the stuff butterflies are made of.
Stuff? Stuff? That's not stuff. That's butterfly babies, called larvae. But not all bug babies look like little wiggly maggots. Here's what it takes to make a butterfly. When they're born, they look like worms with itty-bitty legs. We call them caterpillars, but they prefer to be called larvae. Then they hang out for a while as larvae until they're done with that stage and take it to the next, called the pupa. And after a while, the pupa opens up and perfection itself.
Whoa!
It's a praying mantis. Praying mantises are incredible predators. They're like the leopards of the insect world. They grab onto other insects with their front legs, and then they eat them alive.
There's a whole world of attack insects out there, and this one is from South America, and that's where she's going back to.
The praying mantis uses lightning speed to grab insects. She holds them between the spiny teeth on her front legs and then uses her powerful mouth to break through the armored heads.
Talk about tough.
Tough is right. And praying mantises can't even relax around each other because they're very cannibalistic.
That means they eat each other.
But the praying mantis isn't the only insect that hunts other creatures. Just look around and you'll see lots of others.
Like this fisher spider. Believe it or not, this guy actually hunts in the water.
A spider that hunts in the water?
Yeah, stick with me on this one, because it's great. The fisher spider catches its prey by playing dead.
But in the water?
Yeah, when someone comes to investigate, like a fish or tadpole, they're in for a surprise. Not only is the spider alive, but he's on the move, and he's having fish for dinner.
Great kill strategy.
Yeah, and it all happened in the water.
Or how about the antlion? It's not an ant or a lion, but it does prey on ants like a lion. Check this out. It digs a pit in the sand and then waits for an ant to amble by. If the ant falls in, he'll be falling into the jaws of the antlion.
And what if the ant tries to get away?
Strategy number 2. He flicks sand at the ant to knock it down into the pit and into its jaws.
Hey, it's not easy being an ant. But then again, ants eat bugs too.
Who are you covering up for? Ants don't just eat other bugs, they eat other ants. Army ants will go after a red ant and swarm it.
Okay, let's admit it. The reality is bugs eat other bugs. A lot. But why not? Your fellow bug may make a great meal. Beetles are eating mites.
Praying mantises have no compunction about chowing down on a dragonfly or two.
Centipedes eat slugs and worms.
Some wasps eat insect larvae.
And this guy, the amazing African horned baboon spider, not only eats other bugs like beetles and roaches,
He can even eat animals like small birds.
hey, a spider the width of a human hand has a lot of dining options.
And remember the dragonfly who was being eaten by the praying mantis? He dines on so many mosquitoes that his nickname is the mosquito hawk. Believe it or not, those big things on the side of his head are eyes. In fact, 30,000 mini eyes called facets.
With that kind of eye power, he's an amazing mosquito catcher.
And insects don't just hunt small creatures, but big ones too.
Yeah, remember that time we were up north? That was the perfect example.
Mosquitoes! Black flies! They're driving me crazy! They're all over me! I can't take much more of this. Let's get out of this flashback. We've got to get back to the giant bug invasion!
Now, where were we?
Black flies and mosquitoes.
Right. Black flies and mosquitoes need the blood of humans before they can produce eggs. That's why they bite.
And they just don't go after human blood. They also bite wildebeests and other creatures like tree kangaroos, chimps, elk, sloths, polar bears, just about everybody.
There's no denying that these bugs can be pesky.
But it's nothing personal. Bugs are only doing what they need to do to survive.
And we shouldn't forget that if bugs disappeared, we'd have a real mess on our hands. And I mean a mess. In other words, some bugs make amazing cleanup crew.
You're right. Take flies and maggots. Or to be more accurate, take flies.
Because maggots, those little white squirmy things, are fly larvae.
Or in other words, baby flies.
Okay, here's what happens. An animal carcass is lying around, right?
Right.
Adult flies land on the carcass and start eating.
Seen it 1,000 times.
Flies then lay their eggs on the carcass.
Hey, while you're there, why not?
In 24 hours, all the eggs will have hatched as maggots, and the maggots will finish off the carcass.
In other words, maggots and flies keep down the mess, right?
Right, but if you want more examples of bugs cleaning up,
Dung beetles!
these guys eat dung, which is a scientific word for poop.
Tell all your friends about this, because it's amazing.
Hey, I tell people about this all the time, and I can't figure out why they don't think it's amazing.
I can't either, because it's incredible. Dung beetles actually take a chunk of dung, roll it into a ball, and then the male finds a place to bury it.
The female lays an egg on it, and when it hatches, the larvae feeds off the dung.
It's a dirty job.
But someone's got to do it.
We've seen some cool bugs, but we haven't found any of the ones we've been looking for, especially the emperor scorpion.
An emperor scorpion from Africa, here in North America. This isn't good.
It's worse than not good, because the emperor scorpion is pregnant.
Pregnant? Do you know what that means?
If we don't find that scorpion before she gives birth, there'll be tons of babies all over the place.
And it will be impossible to find all those little guys. Come on, we've got to find the Emperor Scorpion. Remember how we said it would be dangerous for the environment if any of the exotic insects settled in and reproduced? Well, if the Emperor Scorpion has babies, and those babies survive and grow up, and they have babies, who knows what'll happen?
We gotta find that scorpion.
Scorpions hunt at night, but during the day, they hide out in any dark, safe place they can find. Under logs, under rocks.
Any place out of the sun.
You can't blame a bug for hiding, especially when you realize how many creatures would love to eat them. It's not so easy being a bug, you know. It may seem a little unfair that these bugs are constantly being gobbled up by bigger creatures. But the bigger creatures are just doing what they need to do to survive. Hey, there's another reason to love bugs. Without them, some of these bug-eating animals could become extinct.
Something. It's not an emperor scorpion, but it's close.
You found the whip scorpion!
Awesome, Chris.
A whip scorpion is not a true scorpion because it doesn't have a stinger, but it does have a sac filled with vinegar-like acid that it sprays into its enemy's eyes.
Wow, intense.
Great, so we found another one of our escapees.
And now for another episode of...
Stupid things not to do with animals! No real scorpions were used in filming this episode of Stupid Things Not to Do with Animals. No, we wouldn't do that.
Now that is one hungry bug.
It's the solifugid.
The solifugid chews its food up to a soft pulp, and then it sucks up the juice.
It never has to drink because it gets all the moisture from freshly squished scorpions, birds, and lizards.
And smaller solifugids.
Think he's done?
He's done. Let's grab him fast. We've still got a pregnant emperor scorpion to find.
Okay.
Got him! Unlike the solifugids, some creatures are strictly fungivores, like the leafcutter ants.
Leafcutters actually grow their own food. They're fungus farmers. They travel miles to cut and collect leaves, travel back to their underground nest, and then feed the leaves to fungi.
Then the ants feed on the fungi.
Hey, if you think these farmers are cool, then check out Africa's creature constructors. Termites! These guys are Major League Bug House builders.
They put together huge mounds from dirt, sand, and spit. Their spit's the glue that holds it together.
And it really holds. Termite mounds are as hard as a rock.
Think of that. A few grains of sand,
A few gobs of spit.
and you got yourself a condominium.
Okay, recap. We've got the centipede and the millipede, the solifugid, the vinegaroon, and the praying mantis. We still have to find the tarantula, the Indian walking stick, and the Madagascar cockroach.
Those are tough bugs. Let's head into the woods.
Hey guys, check out this stick.
That's not any stick.
You're right. It's a walking stick.
Walking sticks are insects who hide among the foliage of trees and bushes.
Their body shape and texture make them look like just another stick on the branch.
They can even sway in the wind like twigs.
It makes it almost impossible for birds to detect them.
Walking sticks not only use foliage to hide it, they eat it too.
Why not? While you're hiding out, you may as well snag a meal.
Wow, we're lucky you spotted him. He blends right in with the branches. You know, usually walking sticks are only active at night. During the day, they remain motionless. It's like he's in a trance. A really deep trance. He stays still so predators won't notice him. Even if you touch it, it doesn't move. Hey. All right, we found the Indian walking stick.
Okay, we only need to find 2 more creatures, the tarantula and the emperor scorpion.
Something tells me they're close by. I just got this feeling.
Martin, you do something to your hair?
No, what are you talking about? It does look stranger than usual. Come on, you guys, let's go find some bugs. Martin, don't move. Why?
Because your hair just did.
What?
It's a tarantula. Oh, I hope it didn't lay any eggs.
Of the 30,000 kinds of spiders around the world, tarantulas are the biggest.
There are tarantulas living all over the place, in different habitats from lowlands to mountains to woodlands to grassy plains.
Most tarantulas prey on insects like crickets, grasshoppers, and flies, but some have been known to hunt small birds.
A lot of people get freaked out by the sight of a tarantula. Tarantulas may not be exactly cuddly, but in my book, they're pretty cool spiders. The other cool thing is that spiders aren't insects. Scorpions and solifugids aren't either. They're arachnids. So what's an arachnid? Basically, arachnids have 8 legs. Insects, on the other hand, only have 6 legs.
Tarantulas are different from most other spiders because they don't spin webs. Tarantulas are active hunters, and they kill their prey with a lethal venom injection. Ah! Just kidding. She's really nice.
Man, the world of spiders is intense.
And it's a world that scientists are still learning about. But one thing we do know about spiders is that they're all predators.
And they all use poison to kill and paralyze their prey.
But they're also nothing to be afraid of. There aren't many spiders with poison strong enough to harm humans. And unless you bug them, they won't bug you.
Not all spiders spin webs. Some just stake themselves out in a good spot and wait for a tasty invertebrate to come by.
But you know what I've always wondered about spiders who do spin webs? How come they don't get stuck?
Because there are 2 types of web strands. The sticky kind that traps insects, and the non-sticky strands that the spider walks on. It's all a matter of having inside information on how the web was weaved.
Can you name the bug with the best set of eyes?
Should have thought of this earlier. If we had the intense vision of a dragonfly, we'd find that hissing cockroach and emperor scorpion like that. All I have to do is put on my creature vision goggles, set them to dragonfly.
Chris? It'll be dark soon. I figure we better go back to the creature club and get some flashlights. You okay?
Whew. Talk about sensory overload. Seeing like a dragonfly is not easy.
Hey guys, scorpions dig little burrows, right?
Why? What'd you find?
This look like a scorpion burrow to you?
I don't know. It could be.
How do we tell if she's in there?
Well, emperor scorpions do live in burrows, but that's not necessarily where they keep their young.
That's right, they keep their young on their back.
They hang there for about a week until they're old enough to make it on their own.
I forgot about that. So we didn't have to worry about baby bugs getting into the ecosystem. Those babies aren't going anywhere.
For now.
Right, let's get her back to the Creature Club ASAP.
I'm with you guys. We still have to find that hissing cockroach, which won't be easy at night. The flashlight should be by the desk. Hey, great crackers. I haven't eaten since breakfast.
You might want to take a second look at this cracker, Al.
Hey, a cockroach.
A Madagascar hissing cockroach. Now we found the last of our bugs.
Colossal cockroaches! Where have you guys been? We've been chatting up a storm. Did you know I've known cockroaches for over 300 million years? Because that's how long these guys have been crawling around. Hey, I know you humans think cockroaches are oogie, but they're a real success story. They live in almost every corner of the globe, in cities, woodlands, deserts, and mountains. You gotta hand it to the cockroach. They know how to survive. After all, there'll always be dead insects and animals to eat, not to mention all those rotten plants. And hey, fungi. If you ask me, cockroaches deserve a little respect.
Actually, cockroaches, other insects, and arachnids deserve a lot of respect.
Maybe they seem kind of strange. Maybe they seem a little creepy. But once you get to know them, I know you'll think bugs are really cool and fascinating. I know I do. And whatever you think of their looks, you can't deny that bugs and insects are an essential part of the creature picture.
And as long as we don't mess around with their environments or their lives, we'll be able to live together forever.
All the bugs are safe and ready to go home. And you know, now if we want something to eat, we'll be able to find something that's bug-free.
That'd be great.
I'm hungry, too. Baby cockroaches!
Wow.
Cool. I think Tark forgot to tell us something. His cockroach friend is also a new mom. Most people would call bugs disgusting, filthy, and sometimes downright scary. But we've got to remember that all bugs, even the simple cockroach, are beautiful in their own way. After all, if every creature was cute and fuzzy and had not so gross eating habits, it'd make for a pretty dull and boring planet, don't you think?